that every single time I listened to the wrong person, I paid for it with my time, and not just my time. I paid for it with my money. I paid for it with my mental health. I paid for it with my peace. We follow highlight reels on Instagram. You see, oh, 1 million days. We are obsessed with story. We want to see the wins. But some of the most powerful lessons I've actually ever learned came from watching someone lose and watching what they did next, watching someone fail at their business and watching what they did next. Advice is free, but direction from the right people, that one is priceless. Now, if you have these 4 people in your life, you see everyone else, your cousin, your colleague, the person who comments on your post, who has never even taken a risk in their life, just smile, noise, just be nice to them, but move on. Not because they are bad people, but because unsolicited advice from the wrong person is not guidance, it's just noise dressed up as concern. As a business owner, there are only 4 kinds of people you should actually take advice from. I used to be someone who took advice from every single person, and then I realized that every single time I listened to the wrong person, I paid for it with my time, and not just my time. I paid for it with my money. I paid for it with my mental health. I paid for it with my peace. So today, let me share with you the things that changed it for me, that changed how I do everything, do my business for me. And the truth is, you will always need to listen to people. You always need to get advice from people. But getting advice from the wrong person can take you 5 years backwards. So there are only 4 types of people you should actually take advice from. And everyone else, and I actually mean this from saying this from a place of love, everyone else does not deserve to get a seat at the table. Now, the first person is what I call the example. This is someone who has done what you want to do. This is actually someone who has done what you are trying to do or has done what you want to do. Not someone who read about it, not someone who just knows theory about it, not someone who has almost done it, not someone who has a very strong opinion. A lot of people have opinion these days, but someone who has received, somebody who has gone the road, who knows the road. So think about it like this. Let's say you want to move from London to Birmingham, for example, and then you're trying to book a flight. You're not going to go ask advice from someone who has never been to London before or who has never taken that route before. They're only going to mislead you. You definitely go to someone who has either gone to London before or is living in London presently. They will tell you, okay, this is how you go about it. Now, this is how it works in business. If you want to go into clothing business, for example, you shouldn't be taking advice from somebody in the real estate. These are 2 different directions, 2 different places. Look for someone who is in the clothing industry and let them lend you the rope. If possible, go for an apprenticeship. In fact, apprenticeship is one of the best things I will actually advise. Go learn the rope. Because here's what I've learned. Everybody has advice, but only a very few people have experience. And that is what makes the massive difference. That is what changes every single thing. Now, the second one is what I call the anti-goal. Let me explain. This is someone who has failed publicly, but they kept going. This is someone who has done something, failed, and everyone said they have failed, but they didn't back down. They kept pushing. You see, we are obsessed with stories. We follow highlight reels on Instagram. You see, oh, 1 million days. We are obsessed with story. We want to see the wins. But some of the most powerful lessons I've actually ever learned came from watching someone lose and watching what they did next, watching someone fail at their business and watching what they did next. A perfect example for me is this guy called $1 here. This guy failed at his business. Let's forget about this whole thing. People say he came from a wealthy family. There are people who actually come from wealthy family but end up very, very broke. At some point in his life, he was on the national newspaper for owing a lot of people. But somehow he was able to pick himself up from scratch. Now, these are the kind of people you should actually listen to. These are the kind of people you should actually learn from. They are the kind of people that would give you real life advice, not theory. Real life advice of how to come out from challenges, real life advice of how to come out from debt, real life advice of how to come out from certain problems. Not people who just sell you theories and fantasies on things they read from books. Now, the third one is what I call the truth teller. Now, this one is when most of us don't really want in our lives. We don't want people who tell us the truth. You see, they tell you the truth, not what you want to hear, not what makes you feel good in or makes you feel like you're doing something when you are not really doing something. I once spoke to my mentor and he said to me, Precious, you're doing nonsense. I need you to tear everything down and start from scratch. You see, you need people in your life who will tell you the truth, irrespective of how it makes you feel or how you are going to feel. If everyone around you is telling you you are doing well or cheering you up, then you are definitely making a mistake. You see, you can have 100 people hyping you up every single day and still you are completely off track, because hype isn't honesty, and hype is most times just noise. So what you actually need is someone who looks at your plan and says, this part doesn't work, this is why, here is why it won't work, there is why it won't work, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. Someone who actually challenges you and pushes you back to the drawing board every single time. And most especially someone who is not even afraid of your reaction, someone who doesn't care if you get angry or not, someone who just tells you as it is. And because one lesson I've learned in this field of business is that a hard truth delivered in love will always take you way further than a comfortable lie. And the last one is the unbiased. This one is actually very interesting. This is someone who gains absolutely nothing and loses absolutely nothing from your success or from your failure. You see, these kind of people in your life, they have no hidden agenda. They are not your competition. They are not no resentment under the surface. Like, they are not having any beef. You succeeding or failing does not directly impact them. So think about how many people in your life have an opinion about what you should do, but they also have something at stake. Let's say, for example, your parents. Your parents have an opinion on what they want you to do, but they have something at stake. If you fail, it's going to fall back to them and it's going to look bad on them. So there are people like your business partners. They give you advice because they want the business to succeed, because if the business succeeds, they will also profit. And here's the truth. People with skin in the game cannot always give you clean advice. It's just the truth. So find someone who is truly natural, a mentor who is outside your circle, a coach, someone who is just interested in you, not because of what they are going to get from you or how they want to be perceived by your success or by your failure. And one of the things I realized is that that kind of clarity is very, very rare. Finding such people is very, very rare, because human beings are selfish. Everyone wants to have a stake. So if you find someone like that in your life, hold them tight, hold them with all your life, and value every single thing they say to you. Now, if you have these 4 people in your life, you see, everyone else, your cousin, your colleague, the person who comments on your post, who has never even taken a risk in their life, just smile, noise, just be nice to them, but move on. Not because they are bad people, but because unsolicited advice from the wrong person is not guidance, it's just noise dressed up as concern. You need to learn to protect your direction. Be intentional about who you let to speak to you in your journey. Guard your ear gateways. Don't let every single person speak to you, because advice is free, but direction from the right people, that one is priceless. But I hope this helps you. I'll see you next Monday. Bye.